Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you've got the recording on already.
hmm I think
Okay.
I set it to automatically start that.
Okay. You may not want to start that until we start getting people from now on. Okay. Well, today is April 3rd, 2025. My goodness, the year is already getting away from us. Um, well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the quarterly community meeting. We decided this year to do quarter uh, meetings instead of monthly meetings, simply because we're down one board member. So we had to kind of scale things back, and so we decided to go every quarter. So our next one will be sometime in June, possibly, just depending on how, when everybody can meet and everything. Well, this year I'm Melissa Brady, and I am the president of the POA once again. And we have Dominic Linetti, and Dom is our treasurer. And then we have Guy Smith, and Guy is going to serve as our vice. I was going to say vice principal. You can tell that I've been in the school system. He's our vice president. And Anthony Linetti is going to be our secretary this year. So he'll be taking all of the notes and doing all of our technical stuff and everything. So that's a good thing. So what we want to do first of all is kind of go over. I'll do all my stuff, guys, and then I'll let y'all chime in with all of yours. So our president's report includes the goals. So last year we set a vision and a mission for the POA. And so every year we try to set some goals, things that we want to achieve in the neighborhood, um, that would help the neighborhood retain its property values and enhance the nature of the community. So I'm going to go over those. We're always open to suggestions. So if you have suggestions, please feel free to email me and let me know, because we want to make sure that we make this all encompassing and that it's a community effort. But these are just some of the necessary things that we found from last year's survey that needed to be kind of addressed. And so the first thing is we're going to have the landscape lighting at both Highway 170 and Highway 62 replaced. Some of the lamps have gone out, if you haven't noticed, and the electrical lines are exposed. They're not grounded anymore, so that's a hazard whenever the landscape people and the yard mowers are working in there. And so we're going to get that all replaced. Last year there was some interest in an entrance sign on the corner of Giles and Iron. If you come down Giles, the curvy street, you'll notice that you really don't know you're coming into Valley View unless you come in off of Richardson. And so some of the residents in Highlands, up around Iron and Double Bogey and in the upper area, they made a suggestion for some sort of a sign. So we're going to try to see if we can get that done. Of course, we'll have to collaborate with the city on easements and property lines and things like that. This year, we want to address the street poles and street signs. We want to have those power wash stained and put up new street poles or street signage. So if you haven't noticed, ours are getting a little worn. Of course, they've been there for 25 years. And they're just getting worn looking, and sometimes it's kind of hard to see at night when you're traveling and looking for street signs. If you look at those, if it's not underneath a street lamp, it's kind of hard. They're kind of hard to see. This year, we want to replace and paint the guard shack windows. There's a couple of those windows. They're single pane windows and they're loose. I just hope another big wind doesn't come, because they're that loose and we need to to scrape and paint around those. So those are just some of the things that the upkeep that needs to be done. But like I said, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to email me. I'm going to let Guy go over the latest information that we have found out on the clubhouse raising. We have some new information, and so we're going to share that with you. Several people have asked about the garage sale. Okay. Typically, we have 2 garage sales during the year. We like to coordinate the first one with we used to coordinate it with the Junk Ranch event and this Farmington citywide garage sale. But if you haven't heard, they're not having the Junk Ranch is not having their event this year. And so we have yet to hear from the ladies that take care of the Farmington citywide garage sale. They haven't spoken at the city council yet this year. So we're still waiting to hear from them. But typically that garage sale will either be the first or second Saturday in June. And the second one that occurs in the fall is the first Saturday in October. So that's some information. Some folks had posted on Facebook, when are the garage sales? But we'll get signs out and everything ahead of time. So, and we'll put out some information on Facebook for that.
Hey, Melissa, can I chime in on that 1 second?
Sure.
Now, from what I understand, because people do ask, I've had some people ask me, and now they if they wanted to, they could have a garage sale on their own, right?
Oh, sure. Anybody can have a garage sale at any time. They just need to make sure that they get a permit from the city. And the only reason we collaborate with the citywide garage sale is they always ask the mayor if they can waive the permit, so we don't have to pay for a permit. Now, the Prairie Grove side, I have to, if you're in Prairie Grove Valley View, you do have to get a permit. Sorry, you're not grandfathered into that. You're not in Farmington. So anyway, thanks, Guy. Yeah, for that. All right, so let's just do a little bit of covenant updates because we've had a couple of changes. People have asked, did the covenant changes happen, or did we have enough votes? No, we did not have enough votes for covenant updates and changes. So given that fact, our covenants that we've had for the past 25 years are still in place. Nothing has changed. So right now, where the neighborhood is transitioning from spring to summer. And so we have to remember as we come into mowing season that the city ordinance in the Valley View covenant states that your grass cannot be over 6 inches. And that includes grass and that includes weeds, because not everybody has their yard sprayed, and we understand that. But you have to take into consider that, weeds do grow faster than grass. So just remember that it's 6 inches. And if it gets over 6 inches, we'll notify you, but it is considered a violation. And so be careful of that. We wanted to, we have never, as long as I've been on the board and from understanding in the past years, we've never had an increase for violation fees. So this current board, at our second meeting, we went over the fee schedule and everything. And there is going to be a fee increase on trash receptacles. Typically, this violation fee has always been $25 a can. We're going to increase it to $50 a can. This seems, and I know it seems a little steep, but this has been one of the violations that always seems to be the most predominant. However, it's the easiest one to fix, because just the covenant just simply says that the trash receptacles cannot be visible from the street. So in the past, you've always had pretty much an option, keep it in your garage. But Guy has he wrote a letter, and we've already sent it out to a few folks on trash receptacles. We have given you another choice, and that is that you can have privacy screens. Privacy screens are allowed, and the letter includes the information of where you can find them, and they do have to be ARC approved, but it's a really simple and very effective and very economical fix to that. So if you are interested in those privacy screens, and the privacy screen allows you to keep the trash can outside of your garage, but yet hidden. And a lot of people don't like to keep their trash can inside because maybe their trash smells. So we have made that available to you. The only thing that those of you that live on a corner lot, you are going to find that this is a little bit difficult, because if you put your trash can on the side of the house or in the back of your house, and it's visible from 3 sides of the street, you can see it all the way around, you're going to need to put a screen on 2 sides to hide it. So that just it's just a little bit more, it's logistically a little bit more difficult to get that hidden. But when you order those, I think, Guy, I mean, we've looked at them on Amazon. You can choose 1, 2, 3 sides. However, it's pretty lenient. So, and they are economical. And they look very, very nice. You can see a lot of them on Clubhouse. Many of the people, if you want to look at them, many of the people on Clubhouse have elected to do that in lieu of keeping them in the garage. We're getting, like I said, we're coming into the warm weather season. So boats, travel trailers, and box trailers, those are only allowed for 2 weeks at a residence. So be careful of your timeline right there. They can only stay at your residence for 2 weeks. Now, I want to address this because this just addresses, or it just keeps in mind that any boat, travel trailer, or box trailer, no matter where it is on your property, it can only stay for 2 weeks. If your boat is parked in the backyard, it can only stay there for 2 weeks. So boats are not like trash cans. Just because they're not visible from the street doesn't make them not non-subject to a fine, a fee. So just remember, they only have a 2-week period to stay. I do want to talk, this was a big subject with the board last year, was utility trailers. You see a lot of these. Utility trailers can be very, very helpful. They can be, easily hooked up to the back of your vehicle, and you can carry your landscaping mulch and everything in it. They're great. They typically, in the past, they have not been allowed in Valley View. However, we're seeing a lot more of them, and in the covenants, the covenants are very, very vague on this, and we've collaborated with our attorney, and we've gotten his opinion on this. And here's what I have to say about utility trailers. And we're talking about the black ones, the things you haul small things with. They can be parked in your driveway unloaded. But if you want to keep them in the garage, that's fine. But we will allow them to be parked in your driveway unloaded, not on the grass. Nothing ever can be parked on the grass. That's a covenant. So, but we will allow them. It's just that they have to be unloaded. That means you can't keep them stacked with kids' toys and boxes and things like that. They just have to be unloaded. I know several people have asked me about them, and we tried to get that changed last year, or be more specific about it in the covenant changes. but they didn't pass. So we have to work with what we have. Another thing that we're seeing an uptick in is parking on sidewalks. I know I've talked about this before, but that's never acceptable. That is a city ordinance, and it's also a federal law. Do not block the sidewalks. That means if you're coming up into your driveway, you cannot park over the sidewalk, and you cannot park parallel on the sidewalk to your house. That can earn you a ticket from the city of Farmington if it's persistent. And you do not want to be responsible for someone getting hurt having to walk around your vehicle. So please do not park over the sidewalks. We have a lot of elderly people and moms with strollers that walk in our neighborhood, and they have to go around those vehicles out into the street. And you know how narrow it is on Clubhouse. So I think that's pretty much it. That seemed like a lot, but those were just some things that I wanted you to be aware of, because those are just some of the things that we get the most conflict on and questions about. Guy, would you like to give us an update on the clubhouse raising? And why don't you share a little bit about that letter on the trash receptacles? I thought that was such a great idea.
Absolutely. I recently got elected to the board this year, and part of my responsibility was to follow up on some of the first violations. And after the first one was, we had 25 violations, and I believe 17 or 18 of those were trash can violations. I think the last thing we want to do as a board is fine you over a trash can, guys. And I noticed that some people over the past year or so put up one of these petitions. So we got with the board last month and came up with this idea. Say, hey, let's go ahead and just send them a courtesy letter, send our members a courtesy letter, and say, hey, this is an option for you. If you're unable to keep it in your garage, or if you got a privacy fence and you can't keep it behind there, then this is another option for you. And I think it'll really help beautify our neighborhood and keep the neighborhood looking clean. So I appreciate the board all voting on that to make that better for our community. Because I think, once again, guys, I want to stress, the last thing we want to do is fine people. I just don't see it. But sometimes people don't want to follow the guidelines, and I'm glad we have a POA, because we need it. I mean, I've seen neighborhoods without POAs, and man, they can get trashed up pretty quick. So, but we'll be sending. We're going to try to get this on our website. I know I've mailed out a few of these to our members in the community, and I just want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to see it. And sometimes it's hard, like Melissa said. We voted on new covenances, and I know Garrett, when he was treasurer, he worked hard on that. I think we got less than 100 votes on the whole thing out of 451 houses. So, we're trying to get to the community. I mean, the easiest thing to do is complain, but if we can get to you and show you what we're doing and how we can help you and you help us, it'll be a win-win situation for everyone.
Can you share about the clubhouse raising, what we found out about the city council guy?
I can. We went to Melissa and I actually showed up at it's April, right? The March city council meeting, and had a chance to listen to the city attorney visit with the mayor and the city council on the clubhouse situation. I know the number one goal for the city is not to get into a lawsuit where we just spend millions and millions and millions of dollars fighting for a clubhouse that's been abandoned or, not in good shape. I don't really know what kind of shape it is on the inside, but the city attorney, when he first took this case on, he admitted, he had really never been involved in this type of case before. And he actually worked with some other attorneys in the area on getting more and more knowledge on how to approach this situation. He did admit, he made some mistakes on it. I mean, understandable. What he's working on right now, and you'll probably see it this month at the city council meeting. It'll come back up to the city council for votes and follow up on it. So if you're listening out there and you talk to your neighbors, let them know it should come up this month on the city council agenda for the city of Farmington. So let them know to get involved in it. You can give your opinion on it, involved in it. I know the council members and especially the mayor, they battled this all of last year, and I'm not sure what they did before that, but the city attorney is working on it. He wants to make sure everything's correct. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, no loopholes about it. And they're going to proceed that way. So that's kind of where we're on that. And I encourage you, if you could, go ahead and, try to attend the meeting this month at the city council.
Okay. Yes, Jay Moore, our city attorney, he just wants to make sure that all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted, to make sure that when this is brought before the city council again and they vote on it again, that he has legal recourse to do what he's getting ready to do, and that is to raise the clubhouse. And so that's where we sit right now. We're still, waiting, but that's okay. We want to make sure that everything is legit. And when they go to do this, that, that they don't suffer any kind of recourse or anything like that. So with that being said, Dom, you want to go ahead and talk about a little bit on the treasurer's report and share your information?
So this is going to be relatively short, but as of right now, the POA is showing a healthy cash flow trend. Up to date, or year to date, we've shown $47,431 in income, and then $12,247 worth of expenses, for a net profit of $35,184. This is not including overdue dues and violations, which is currently sitting at 39,167 whenever those get collected. So as of right now, we have not posted a net loss for any month to date. But as we start rolling into the more holiday season and we start running into more events, it's expected to sort of equalize out over time. So as of right now, the accounts look very healthy. The checking account is currently showing at $68,485. So.
Okay. All right. Just remember, if you haven't paid your annual dues, they are due. I believe I checked with the bookkeeper, and after, let's see, on April 1st, well, it's already past April 1st, a $25 fee is applied to the account. And then in July 1st, there will be a 10% penalty on the total balance applied. So just be careful there, and we appreciate everyone's expediency and diligence in that. And, we always want to be good stewards of the money. We do have a CD amount, and I believe that is up to 109,000. So it's sitting at Sterling Bank, and so we still have that. So at this time, we'd like to take some questions. Does anybody have any questions for us that we can answer? Anybody?
I want to be a squeaky wheel if I can.
So who is this?
This is Debbie Prince.
Hey, Debbie.
My squeaky wheel question is about the sewer system again. Have you heard any more about an audit on the loans that we have and all the hundreds of homes that are paying, 50 plus $60 a month extra on?
That's a good question, Debbie. And, Will Win takes care of the sewer system. That's Washington
Water, yeah,
Water Account Authority,
right.
District number 5. He takes care of all of that. And, we have last year, our intent was to sit down with him and have him open his books. However, he did share his accounts and everything with Garrett, and we looked over them, and everything. Debbie seems to be pretty legit. He works on a very short leash. Pretty much everything that goes into that department actually goes out. He works on a very tight line. In the city of Prairie Grove, when we met with them, they told us pretty much the same. There's no really profit being made here. We are, the loan eventually will be paid down. This is just one of those things. When that happened, it was one of those situations to where something had to be done right away. Because back in the day, there was raw sewage on the golf course, and in the ADEQ out of Little Rock had to get involved, and there were all kinds of things that went on. And so a solution had to be made really, really quick. And so they had to, invoke an overseer for all of that. Communities Authority, Communities something, I forget the name of it. But we mapped out the timeline, and pretty much everything seems to be in order. But unfortunately, as we build, though, here in Farmington, like the New Hillcrest right there by you, Wagon Wheel, Valley View, Saddlebrook, all of these neighborhoods are all coming in to pay that loan down. There's no way that we're going to get out of this.
Well, I understand that, but there's a new subdivision that's being built. Have you double checked to see if they are going to be part of that?
Any new subdivision that has sewer lines running to Prairie Grove will be part of that.
Which they do. And then I know that it's all public, so do they have public audits that are done regularly on that as well? Because it's all gone through the public utilities and everything there. And one person is in charge of running everything. So it just seems that the public needs to have an official audit that's done for the public.
Debbie, I understand that question, but that is something that is more like runs along the political line, to where maybe you would need to contact your justice of the peace.
Or maybe the city.
Well, it's the justice of the peace that sits on the quorum court, and it is the judge that controls the audits for the water.
That's good
There's
to
only
know.
around 3.5 minutes left in the meeting, just so everyone
Okay.
knows.
All right. Any other questions?
I do on the golf course itself. I see that the subdivision is building houses. It looks like the latest house that's being built has been on the golf course. I mean, it's right behind one of the bigger hills that's behind the house, and it doesn't seem like they're getting rid of any of the dirt to build those houses right on the other side of those hills.
Are you talking about the house that is being built on Clubhouse, or the one that's being built on Frisco?
I think it's a new subdivision, I believe. I'm not sure.
Are you talking about Hillcrest with the big hill of dirt behind you?
Right. And it's actually the one to the left, more like Stacy's house next door. It's behind her house.
Don't worry, they're going to use that dirt. They'll have to, and whenever all of the houses are built, any remaining dirt will have to be spread out and dealt with. So do not worry about that. It's eventually.
Well, I was just wondering if the house itself, it appears to be on the golf course. Is it on the golf course itself or on the other side of the fairways?
No, none of those houses over there are on the golf course.
Okay, I was just curious about that.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay, all right.
I promise.
Good question, Debbie.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else that we can?
Melissa, we talked about the Easter egg hunt yet? Are we still working on
I
it?
know nothing about the Easter egg hunt other than Becky Webster asked me to open up the guard shack on Friday. Do you know any more?
No, Becky's willing to help, and I think the
Okay.
couple other ladies were, but do we have
Okay.
a folder on that, on who's on the social committee, and maybe I could follow up on that?
Yes, we can get information, and it's also in their table, but Becky will take care of all of that. She will notify those ladies. She just needs to provide us with a date.
Okay.
And so you need to get a date. Yeah, if you would please, that would be great. Yeah, and we'll post it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining. Last chance. Okay, well, if you have any other questions or you have questions, concerns, or comments, you can email me at president@valleyviewestatespodA.com. And I can direct your email to the right person if need be. Mr. Eric Reed is still our head of our ARC committee and approves all buildings or improvements in the neighborhood. And we've done several lately. A lot of sheds, a lot of privacy screens. We have 2 homes being built, so he's very, very busy, but he is great. He will get back with you and let you know what all you need to do if you need to make an improvement. So, all right. Okay, if there's no questions, then we're going to go ahead and let you go, and feel free to reach out. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.